What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is July 9th of 2020. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and in today's video, I not only want to spend some time taking a look into Bitcoins who started to pick up momentum over the last 72 hours, but outside of that as well, continue to talk about the break through the resistance line on altcoin dominance, as for the first time in 2.5 years, we have finally continued to rally through and break through a line that was holding down altcoin dominance for a very long period of time, and also dive in more specifically into some key plays in the market that we should be watching. Outside of that as well, we also have a sponsored interview with Jason from Amaton, so if you guys are interested in that, please stick around. You won't want to miss it. But let's go ahead and get started by taking a look across the board for cryptocurrency markets. So taking a look over the last 24 hours, we can see here that the vast majority of cryptocurrencies still right now are generally pushing into more of a green scenario here. Still many plays here in a no trend scenario after we've had a bit of cool down in regards to the last 48 to 72 hours in altcoin markets. Nonetheless, a lot of plays still going into double digit territory. We've got obviously Dogecoin still killing it, Holochain, Flexicoin leading the market right now, and also iExec RLC, one of our top Oracle plays, up 12.5% here over the last 24 hours. I'm going to hit home on this play. We've also got a few other DeFi plays like Synthetics Network doing well, and also Stasis, another big Ethereum play. So really good to see this. Stellar as well, another one of the large caps picking up here, up 16% here over the last 24 hours. And taking a look here at the last 7 days, we can start to see about a $15 billion gain in market cap since back here roughly around $259, $260 billion, now resting up here towards 275. So it's really nice to see things starting to pick up here. And again, some substantial moves not only in altcoins, but also in our leading play Bitcoin. Because as we start to break through this line here, as we've obviously very clearly broken through now, guys, we've had 2 or 3 days here where we've been beyond this line. And if we close here today, it'll be a good consecutive few days where we've been above it. All right, we are in what may be very well the next altcoin cycle here. Again, we're pretty confident on that verdict. So now that we're accepting that to a degree and we're keeping that in mind, we also want to ask whether or not Bitcoin's going to do well. And what's interesting is that over the last few days, even though altcoins have been gaining market dominance, and yes, if you're in the broader market of altcoins, you've probably been outpacing or growing your position against Bitcoin. At the same time, Bitcoin's doing great. It's just come down here from a bottom down here around 8,900 back about 4 days ago, all the way up here towards this new daily candle where it's pressing around $9,400 per coin. So it's really exciting to see. I think this is good. I think the confidence here looks nice in the sense of price. And again, it keeps playing into the discussion point that we've had. And I'll go ahead and pull over to the Bitstamp chart here because that's going to be relevant for what we're talking about. Again, coming up here a few months later from when we were kind of calling for it back in May, breaking above this line of resistance for the first time, similar to what we just saw with altcoins, and having a consolidation period up here above the line of resistance, making it support, eventually breaking out into a new full swing uptrend, breaking above 20K and really kicking off into the next cycle, going from 20K upward towards 100,000, right? So again, things are playing out here. We just had a slight delay, I think. Again, as always, I think one of my biggest flaws that I've tried to correct time and time again, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm not eager to really see these things. I just kind of keep an eye on it and I wait patiently and keep my expectations realistic. One of the biggest problems I always had as a trader, and I've gotten better about over the years, is just being eager for things to happen, right? Obviously, everyone wants to see these kind of investment opportunities come up on the market, but you have to be patient. These things take time, especially as we're talking about markets of scale. As Bitcoin, is growing from a $10 billion asset to, maybe for example, $200 billion asset, it's going to be very difficult for it to go from that upper valuation range of 200 billion to 2 trillion, right? To basically do even a shorter multiple, you're going to need much more liquidity, and it's going to take much more time. So keeping that in mind, again, Bitcoin looking very bullish right now. I just want to see more volume follow through. I'm not seeing that on a lot of the major exchanges. You can even take a look here at BLX. Volume is quite abysmal right now as we've consolidated. So I want to see a big follow through on volume, possibly a really solid break on a daily candle above $10,000. That would be really nice to see. And in the sense, again, of our ratios and some of the plays we're watching in the altcoin space, again, RLC is one of my big plays I'm watching, guys. As Chainlink has been leading the market, it's very, very clear that Oracle's are the focus. And the key thing that I look for as a trader is I think about, okay, what's the next runner-up? What's another play in the market that people are watching that might, come to the forefront as one of the large plays for Oracles? And also maybe even meeting that solution as well as many others in the enterprise space. And in that case, RLC has been basically marked as the front runner. And basically, a lot of the different fundamental reviews and the sense of price action, it's been doing quite well. And there's a lot of other ones. I don't mean to just say that RLC is the best. And we're going to do a comparison sometime here in the future. I know Band Protocol, Teller, there's a lot of other different plays here. So I would keep an eye on those. And I would say to also, possibly, if you can get some good price data here, do some good ratios on some of these plays against Chainlink. And you can see here, though, again, we're trading off of the consistency and trends that we see within the ratio. These 13, 14, in this case, 16-week is what our estimation is, 16-week period that we're going to see where Chainlink is RLC is going to increase against Chainlink at a ratio of around 300% here from where we started back in April. So we're well into this cycle, but I think we've still got a ways to go here. Another one as well that I keep an eye on is Kava to MakerDAO. And this is a really interesting ratio I just put together this morning. And I have to say, looking at the weekly SMS, taking a look at the past few months, actually really almost nearly a year now of price action that we have to work with since back here in September and October, right? Taking a look back here, we can see that we've been going in this channel where when we get up here to a ratio of 0.003, and we come down here towards 0.0015, so half of that ratio, we have this kind of channel that's been building up here, this sideways channel. And it looks like we very well might have a chance, similar to how we've been taking a look at the ADA or Cardano chart against Ethereum, of a potential breakout here. So look for a weekly close above here. I think if we get that, then Kava will reach for the stars, as I've been talking about. It's one of the few plays that I think is interesting and a potential real competitor against MakerDAO in the long run. So again, just keeping an eye on that. Those are the two pairs I'm watching. Again, as all season starts to kind of pick up, guys, again, always keep in mind that, I think we're still, with everything going on in the world, we've been going through a delayed tax season. So again, if you guys are getting reports that you need to pay taxes or that you have a period of time and stuff where you basically have to go through and reporting your crypto activities, whether you're doing trades or, for example, earning interest on your crypto, then definitely check out our sponsor, TaxBit. TaxBit's a really great project. Austin and the team have done a phenomenal job. And what's nice is that their software is getting even more and more functionable, but the main core principle is simple. You plug it into all your exchanges, and you can track all of your profits and losses as well. It's just as important if you've had losses on some of your trades that have been realized. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. Outside of that as well, I know that there's been the phenomena of Dogecoin. I'm not really going to speak to it outside of just really saying that I'm completely staying away from this, guys. I have no doubt this really could go much higher than where it is now. I don't mean to make you guys feel interested in that. I'm not holding any Doge, if that makes you feel better. But these things are very hard to predict. And along with that as well, Doge in the past has had a very long history, a very fake kind of P&D kind of movement, pump and dump, really. And again, I always tell you guys to stay away from this stuff. It's illegal, first off, and second off as well. Just to me personally, I mean, you can see a lot of the volume here. It's at record paces than what we've seen in the past because a lot of it's fake volume. You have Binance, for example, that has the pairs now, and that's where the majority of the real organic volume is. So you have, $81 million here on the Tether pair and $81 million, interestingly enough, on the Bitcoin pair, right? So again, I would say here that above all, be cautious because a lot of this volume is fake. If we really try to measure it by the top 24-hour volume, exchanges like Hcoin, Finex, I don't know any of these exchanges, and even CoinMarketCap flags some of them as well. So, MXC, BKEX, right? I don't use any of these exchanges. And you can see the confidence meter on a lot of these and stuff for the actual kind of crazy volume is not there. But for some of these as well, the volume is looking quite nice. But again, I'd stay away from it personally, guys. I don't really buy into the hype here. And again, it's going to be very, very short-lived. And when it comes crashing down, it will come down with a vengeance. It'll come with very pain, much wow. So one thing I did want to share with you guys, though, in the sense of markets right now and those of you who are interested in DeFi, again, I think there's a questionable kind of narrative here that we're really going to have to see over the next few months because I have no doubt a lot of it is speculation at the moment, but a lot of people have been interested in governance tokens out there. The three that I know people have been talking about are not only Balancer, DMM token or DMG, outside that as well, Compound. These three tokens have been ones that I've heard from a lot of people. And if you guys want, I'd be happy to do a deep dive on some of the DeFi governance tokens. For me personally, again, I've had talks with many people and stuff over the last couple of weeks, and For me personally, I'm interested to see how these are going to play out, but I think more than anything and stuff right now, we've still got a long way to go to really see governance tokens materialize to something fundamental. Nonetheless, if you guys are looking for some exposure in the broadening DeFi space, and some of these are still kind of new gems in the space like Balancer and DMG, right? These are some of the smaller cap plays. If you're interested, you can get access to them on Digifox later today. We're going to have them in our integration of Uniswap so you can trade them directly from the Digifox wallet. So if that interests you, definitely check out the wallet. I'll have a link down below in the description. But again, really fascinating to see a lot of new players come to the space here. Some of them doing really fascinating and interesting projects that we hadn't seen in DeFi before. Or you have projects like Compound, which have been around, but now they're finally starting to at least decentralize the ownership of the platform and possibly explore an actual governance model that could help to implement new protocol updates outside of just the team making decisions, right? But again, seeing how these are going to work long term, still very, very up in the air. So again, I don't like the whole kind of like yield farming stuff like that. I recommend you guys stay away from that for the most part. Now, if you're a depositor, if you own a lot of like tokens and you see an opportunity to make a large amount on your tokens that you're already going to hold long term, there's nothing really wrong with that. And you're in some comp, which is pretty cool. But on the borrowing side, I think it's a little bit risky. So anyways, that's it for the video today, guys, in the sense of the core content. But I want to go ahead and jump into our video with Amaten. So let's go ahead and dive into the interview. Alrighty, everyone. So for today's sponsored interview, we're sitting down with a good friend of mine, Jason King, who's one of the key advisors over at the Amaten project. We've been talking a little bit about here and there on the channel. So I want to start off by doing a proper introduction before we dive into this really interesting conversation, talking about some of the details and updates about the Amaten project. And start off by saying, Jason, it's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for making the time, man.
Hello, hi Nick. Thank you for having me on the show. Glad to be here today speaking about Amaten.
Absolutely, man. So just go ahead and get started here. I want to go ahead and start off with a very simple question for those who may not know exactly what Amaten is all about, and maybe the pre-existing company before the project that you guys have founded. What is Amaten, put simply?
So Amaten is a successful business for the last few years in the field of gift cards, particularly in the secondary market trading of gift cards. It has a stellar track record, traction in the business. Last year's revenue were well over $100 million. And at Amaten, we are seeing an amazing opportunity to solve a very interesting and powerful problem. And that is the last mile problem between legacy cash and gift cards. As you know, gift cards are one of the most fascinating and useful instruments that is used by large companies worldwide. And at Amaten here, we believe that by leveraging technology such as blockchain and combining the legacy system that existing gift card systems run upon, we can create a perfect use case of the blockchain technology to solve fraudulent issues, to solve double spending issues, to reduce many of the problems that is plaguing the industry today into something fantastic.
I think it's fantastic, Jason, because quite frankly, the biggest thing that you guys are doing is building an evolution on top of your pre-existing business model. You've obviously proven you know the market, you have the right talent for it. So I'm really excited to see how you guys evolve towards this almost second phase of the core company. And speaking of that as well, you guys went about doing a direct listing rather than going through doing an ICO and an IEO, and that's something that I really appreciate. Trying to actually kind of prove and build value, and therefore again see an appreciation of your ecosystem eventually as time progresses. So to speak to that, what's the strategy been like, and why did you guys choose to do a direct listing instead?
So at Amaten, just a little over a year ago, when we first discussed, the vision of implementing blockchain technology to create this new paradigm, it was just heading into crypto winter. As you know, that Bitcoin price was hitting lows of $3,000. There was a prevalent sort of disruption among funding between projects, investors. Appetite was very low. The overall situation was just very depressing, to be honest. However, given in line that one of the few things that Amaten that what we wanted to do is no matter how long it took or no matter how difficult it was, we wanted to build a organic, and a strong foundation of true believers in our vision. We have many investors and token holders today that are with us through our direct listing on one of the largest exchanges, family exchanges on the planet, which is BitThumb. Alongside that, we also have our smart token contracts audited by CertiK, leading uh, auditing firm. So many of these approaches were designed with a simple fact in mind that we did not want to do a public ICO. I mean, obviously, as any project, we love to have token holders who, will contribute to the funding of the process. However, that was not the primary drive. The primary drive is to really find people who understand what we're doing, who believe in what we're doing, and who will help us get to realize that vision of building the next generation blockchain powered gift cards. So that's some of the primary reasons why we chose to go with the direct listing, opting over traditional strategies utilized by other ICOs and projects. We want it to be different. We see Amaten as a gem in the space and want to keep it so.
I couldn't agree more, man. It's a big problem in this space that a lot of people aren't focused on starting off slowly and building that organic growth over time, and they usually take shortcuts in order to get short-term growth that usually doesn't last very long. So I'm eager you guys have your priorities in the right place and focusing on the long-term vision. And speaking of that, though, I know you guys have recently partnered as you've been going about building Amundsen 2.0 in this case. You've been building it on the ELF blockchain or AELF, the ELF platform. So I wanted to go ahead and ask a little bit about this. What does this partnership entail? Why did you guys choose to build on ELF? I've heard a few people talk about it. I know it's a big kind of enterprise chain for a lot of projects throughout Asia. So I wanted to go ahead and just get some insight from that on you.
So, give a little background. I'm one of the earliest investors and also a member of the core team at ELF. ELF is a enterprise blockchain company that has built solutions empowering multiple governments and also large enterprise applications. Our solutions are certified and recognized by the largest companies such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Huawei. Alongside that, ELF Blockchain Solutions is also certified by the CESI, which is a government body in China that sets the standards for blockchain protocols standardization. So here at Amaten, we also see that number one, Amaten is in the business of gift cards and it is a leader in such field. However, Amaten's exposure to crypto and blockchain hasn't, it is nascent compared to its experience in the gift card industry. Whereas we didn't want to spend a large amount of R&D and time. Instead, we wanted to build something that can get to market fast and also have a very solid technology partner that can deliver state-of-the-art solution to empower scalable solutions such as Omnitin gift cards ecosystem would require. And to simply build that from scratch, it was not something that would have been feasible in a timely fashion, and the cost of resources would have been far more costly than initially projected. So we opted to go and find a symbiotic relationship between one of the leading technology blockchain players in the space that is experienced, that has a lot of seasoned, fantastic team members, and combining that with Amaten's team of leaders and uh, developers who are very versed in the art of building gift cards, we find that such a partnership was super powerful to create a fusion of the best of both worlds. And again, to elongate and to propagate the vision of having gift cards empowered by blockchain technology that brings immutability, that solves fraudulent double spending issues to truly solve that last mile problem which you have between gift cards and legacy cash. I'm very excited about this, and this is something that we're set out to do.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Jason. I think one of the big problems that we've seen in the cryptocurrency space is everyone's constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and build their own platform or protocol. So to be able to have something, that's just simply already existing, it has all the tools and mechanisms that you need, and it provides a great place for you guys to get something out to market and get it out into the hands of people. I think that that's not only showing you guys have your focus in the right place, but it's obviously going to lead Amazon to be much more successful in the long term. And speaking towards that strategy about getting something out to market, where are you guys focusing on? I know obviously the core company is based in Japan; it's where a lot of your market is right now. But as you build out this new market for Amazon, this decentralized marketplace, is this going to be something that's focusing on a wide variety of markets across the world? I've been really eager to kind of get a perspective on where your guys' focus is on that.
So Amazon, as a Japanese company, its base grassroots is Japan. So many of the native Japanese-speaking people have discovered Amazon 2.0 and have really see the vision that Amazon has set out to achieve. Now, as you know, Tom, the chairman of the Amazon Group, is Japanese. So one of the reasons why I'm speaking here on behalf of him, because for many of our English readers, it'll be difficult to have translation of Japanese. So here I am speaking on behalf. However, besides expanding in the home base of Japan, we also have huge plans coming up in China, which I'll speak in a bit. But China is also a major market. South Korea, being digitization and cryptocurrencies, is super popular among this population. We see huge growth potential in Southeast Asia, um, plus Europe, Africa is also amazing emerging markets. Alongside, of course, we cannot forget that North America, uh, one of the largest marketplaces for gift cards, used by millions of people daily. So these are some of the very interesting jurisdictions where we see our solution can really penetrate and create huge disruption.
I couldn't agree more, man. I've been focusing on this as I've taken a look at a lot of the large merchants over the last few years, and it's crazy just how big these markets can be. So I think it's awesome that you guys have more of a global focus as you move into this new transition for the Amazon or Amazon company. So speaking of those ambitions, I'm curious to hear about what you guys have been able to do over the last few months, some of the key updates that you might have had. And outside of that as well, Jason, if you can think about it, what are some of the key things that you're looking forward to for the project as a whole going over the next few months?
So as you know, for the last many months, the team has been hard at working, churning away, making progress, pushing along the progress. Every day, making even a bit of progress. It's about consistency and it's about perseverance. It's about continuously making progress, no matter what the environment is. And that is something I'm very proud of the team, and I'd like to thank particularly to the ELF team and to Mr. Julie, the CEO and co-founder of ELF, for giving us huge support along the way. Without them, it would not be possible to reach where we are today. And also at the same time, during this journey, we are also very fortunate. Many talented people are joining us, but in particular, I would like to mention Mr. Lucas Liu, who was previously the CMO of OKX, which is one of the largest crypto exchanges in China to date. And it's wonderful with Mr. Lucas Liu's particularly powerful connections in China throughout the crypto and traditional industry. He was also previously leading the marketing efforts at Huawei. So we're really fortunate to have such a high caliber professional coming from the traditional technology industry and the growing crypto industry to join us at Almaden, because he sees the potential of what we are doing here, and he sees the possibility of the magic that we can create with blockchain, combining with gift cards. So this is something that we're very excited about. We have huge plans set up to penetrate and market Amazon to get their voice out there to the Chinese community and to the Chinese speaking people about amazing gem that Amazon is coming from Japan. I think many people find this very exciting in the coming months, and a lot is to come, so we're going to stay tuned.
Well, Jason, I got to say, it seems like you guys are really setting yourself up for success over the next coming months. I'm really excited to hear that you've not only been able to, again, maintain the core team that's already built a successful company. That alone has me pretty excited. But outside of that as well, just to know that you've been bringing on a lot of successful names and that they see the vision in Amaton as well. So, again, I think this is going to be really interesting to see where things go over the future. And I know we definitely want to keep in touch, keep updated on what's going on, and keep up to date with the progress that you guys are making. But outside of that, man, I got to say, thank you for just giving such a clear, concise explanation on what you're doing, where you guys are going over the next few months. And outside of that as well, again, taking the time to chat with us. So thanks again, Jason. It was a true pleasure.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for having me on your channel. Great fan of your channel, and I hope many people find a lot of useful information today. And stay safe. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.
Absolutely, man. Take care. Thanks for making the time.